Welcome to Mind Wide Open, where we sit with the teachings and ask what it means to live an awakened, compassionate life, one breath, one day at a time. In this episode, three voices come together to sit with the practice and the teachings. Guiding today's discussions is Beth Kedra, a teacher, meditator, and artist at heart who came to mindfulness in 2020. She's joined by Venerable Bhante Chandrawantha, founder and president of the Pennsylvania Meditation Center and its resident monk since 2016. And we're honored to welcome George Heckert, founder of the Philadelphia Meditation Center. George opened the center back in 1998 and has spent the years since opening its doors to teachers from across the tradition, creating a home where so many people have been able to come and study the Dhamma. A devoted student of Buddhism himself, his quiet work behind the scenes has made the path accessible to countless practitioners. Together, the three of them turn toward meditation and the Dhamma, what it asks of us, what it offers, and how the practice meets us in everyday life. So wherever you are and however you've arrived here, take a breath, settle in, and join us.
Hi, everyone. Today we're at the Philadelphia Meditation Center, and we're going to talk to Bhante, and we're also going to talk to George. Now, you opened the center how long ago?
1999.
1999. Okay, so how old were you then?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I have to do the math. It was about 25 years ago, right?
Okay.
27 years ago. So I'm 82 now, so quick math. I know, 65.
In your 60s, okay.
I'm 82 now.
Yeah, okay. So what made you want to start, open these doors? What made you have, did you just have a feeling, I think I...
Yeah, well, I initially, I used to be a member of the Philadelphia Buddhist Association.
Okay.
But they had no home. And we had to move around from location to location. And so my wife and I decided at the urging of another teacher, Glenn Mullen, that we start our own place. And our idea was that we would build a building and then we would offer it to the Philadelphia Buddhist Association to stay there. But the powers that be at the Philadelphia Buddhist Association at that time weren't really interested. And so we went out on our own.
Yeah.
It was sort of like if you build it, they will come.
Right. And did they come?
And they came, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We, I was able to get some email addresses from the Insight Meditation Society up in Barre, Massachusetts, and they gave me emails for the people in the Philadelphia tri-state area. And so that was sort of a kickstart.
Okay, good. Did you have full faith, this is going to work? Or did you have doubt, I'm not sure about this?
I had faith. I never had any doubt. I mean, I thought it was there's nothing to lose.
Yes, yeah.
If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then,
it's okay.
It's all right too.
Yeah. We got to meet Joseph Goldstein, and he said something we thought we'll stay open for a year.
Right.
That's our goal. And then just kind of go from there. So, yeah. I feel when you have a beautiful intention, it just kind of flows and works out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Actually, IMS is building another meditation hall.
Yeah. I heard that. They're expanding. Yeah. It's great. Okay, good. So how long had you been meditating before you we're let's open a center?
Yeah, I guess I started meditating in the early 70s. I got introduced to Buddhism through my wife. She had read some Zen books. There wasn't a whole lot available back in the 1970s, but so I read some Zen books. I read a lot of Alan Watts, and then I found the Philadelphia Buddhist Association. And then later on, I discovered the Insight Meditation Society, where I could do week-long retreats. And so that's just how it started.
Yeah. Okay. And did you feel like something was calling you to specifically Zen, or like what did you try different things? Like how was that journey? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I had very little Zen experience. Actually, I had a cousin who ran a Zendo in Philadelphia, and I wasn't that into sitting and looking at the wall. And so I knew I used to attend the Tibetan Buddhist Center of Philadelphia, which is Vajrayana,
Right.
Losong Samta's place, and so that exposed me to Tibetan. And then at IMS, I got exposed to the Theravada. I used to do monastic retreats up there, and I just really the Theravada just really resonated with me.
Yeah,
And
like called to you.
Yeah, so that's sort of where my home is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say that the PMC is we practice the Buddha Dharma, so we don't really feel like we're this or that. We're open to to all of types of Buddhism.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
it's primarily our teachers for our residential retreats are usually Theravada trained. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I got that feel when I came in, like, oh, feels kind of like universal.
Yeah.
Which actually, Bhante, maybe you can tell us about like the different traditions a little bit. I mean, you don't have to go too in depth, but maybe a general idea, and like people don't understand that there are even different kinds of Buddhism,
Yeah, we have a Theravada tradition, which is the oldest tradition, which is still maintains the Pali tradition and accept the Dhamma, Dharma and the Vinaya discipline as declared by the Buddha without changing anything. And then we have a Mahayana tradition, which after passing away of the Buddha, that school was formed in India. So they mostly emphasizes the path of Bodhisattva and everyone attaining Buddhahood and being born in the Pure Land. So that is their emphasis. But in Theravada tradition, it is following the Buddha as a disciple. So you are a disciple and you follow the teachings of the Buddha in order to eliminate the three poisons, not to attain a Buddhahood.
Right. But a bodhisattva is someone who is striving to attain to be a Buddha.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what they focus on in Mahayana.
Mostly, even in Theravada, it is emphasized, but not everyone try to be a bodhisattva. But in Mahayana tradition, everybody is a bodhisattva. So their ultimate goal is to attain Buddhahood, not to attain Nibbana.
Okay.
So Nibbana is kind of, what is that? Kind of look down upon.
Not as emphasized.
No.
Ah.
And then we have Vajrayana tradition, which is also formed even later after Mahayana tradition. And then we have especially Dalai Lama is the kind of, he's a leader of Vajrayana tradition currently. And we have Zen meditation, Zen practice. So which is all.
I think Zen sort of fits under Mahayana, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like under the umbrella.
Mahayana.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, there are many other schools actually. Even under Mahayana tradition, there are many other schools. But however, there are two main branches, Theravada and Mahayana, and then we have Vajrayana and Zen Buddhism.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're Theravadan.
Yes.
For people who don't know.
Yeah.
So when did you know you wanted to be a monk? Like, were you young?
Actually, I was very little. I didn't know anything about the Nibbana. I didn't know anything about the Buddha or his teaching. I was just drawn to the gesture and the life of Buddhist monks, because Sri Lanka is a Theravada country, not mixed with Mahayana. It's still, they maintain Theravada tradition. They try their best to maintain it. And so when I was a young boy, I got to see monks walking in the village, and also I was taken to temples by my grandmother. And then I don't know, maybe I can't explain it, but I was little. However, I desired for that life. Yeah. So I highly believe that is something that I have planted in my previous lives.
Right. Yeah. And so you became a monk when you were 14.
14, yes.
But you didn't meditate much, you said. In the beginning, you did a lot of like academic studying, the suttas and things like that.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your schooling and then like how you felt like something was missing?
Yeah, at the age of 14, I went to I entered into the monastic tradition, and then I practiced as a novice monk. Especially, we had to study a lot of things. Pali language is a compulsory, and Sanskrit is a compulsory, and Sinhalese is the language of Sri Lankan people. So we had to study as a Buddhist monk. It is compulsory to study those three languages, and then of course we had to study Dhamma, suttas, abhidhammas, and discipline code. Not the whole section, but small parts of the three baskets. Yeah.
Okay, so mostly you were studying, really.
Mostly studying, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about how you both like became meditators, like real meditators, right? Like not just reading about it, but actually like bringing it into your life. So when you first started meditating,
Right.
like what were some challenges? Like what method did you initially use?
Well, I guess I think immediately I started with breath meditation, just following the breath. And I guess my first obstacle was, am I doing this right? Yeah. Knowing that you can't do it wrong, But
where should I look? Yeah.
Am I controlling my breath, or is my breath natural? That's one of the early stumping things.
Right.
But and restlessness.
Yes. Physical or mental or both?
Both.
Right.
The hindrances, the 5 hindrances.
Yeah.
So you just work on them until you can settle down and just be present.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Was there something that like in the beginning like clicked for you? Like maybe a first insight you had?
No, probably not. I mean, I never
just try.
I never thought that I wanted to achieve enlightenment. I just always just wanted to try to learn to be present. Mindfulness essentially. And one of the teachers that I read a lot was he just defined mindfulness as here and now, non-judgmental body-mind awareness. And so I just try to be in that place.
Yeah, just like in your daily life, you felt like you needed it.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, you practice on the cushion, but then you want to take that into daily life. I mean, you use that as a way of living.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And what about you, Bhante? Any problems when you first started meditating?
Yeah, actually, even though I'm a monk, I didn't like meditation, and but I had a great respect towards the Dhamma, and towards the Buddha, of course, right? But I didn't like that meditation thing. And then when I was at the college, I felt so much burden on my shoulders when I woke up. And then I started to read a book written by a professor. So in that book, it has mentioned that the meditation sign.
Mhm.
So normally developed practitioners, some practitioners gain that sign, visual anchor in front of them. So I was craving to see that. And then I closed my eyes and practiced. And then I realized, no, this is, I can't gain this. This is not something that I can gain overnight or
Right.
just by closing my eyes.
And the more you strive, the further away you are.
I didn't know that actually either.
Right.
Because, and then I was drawn towards the practice, and I started to listen to more and read more about meditation and the Dhamma, using a very open heart, open mind, not to achieve any academic achievements, but to see something, to find something here. I also had actually fear for hell. Yeah, arisen in me,
Yes.
somewhere, maybe nowhere.
Yeah.
So then that also was lingering in my mind, and then I started to, that's how I started to practice. But I didn't have teachers. I listened to well-known teachers though,
Yeah.
back in some Sri Lankan teachers, and then I also read Ajahn Chah, because we have all the translations of Ajahn Chah's books, and then that's how I got into meditation.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel like your practice has changed over time from then until now? Maybe George, you can answer first.
I guess I've become more committed as time goes by. But it's hard to say how much it's really changed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or maybe how has meditation changed your life or helped you? Or like
well,
maybe
that's one question. Like people ask me, and I say, "Well, I don't know because I don't know what it would have been like if I hadn't meditated."
That's true. Right? Yeah.
I just think that Buddhism in general and the Dharma and meditation have just sort of, I use that to kind of define the way I live my life. And I don't know that I've changed that much over the years. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
You almost have to look from the outside.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm me.
Yeah.
I still haven't given up,
Right.
self.
Oh man, it's a hard one.
Yeah. But I mean, let's just try to live the Dharma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Bhante? How do you feel like meditation helps you in your life, like the most?
I think Dhamma has placed me in the present moment, and then whatever comes is, I'm just accepting it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You accept the present moment as it is.
Yeah.
I think an important thing is to remember, and this really is important, is it's the Noble Eightfold Path, okay? It's not just concentration and mindfulness. There's wisdom, there's intention, there's sila, and that all has to be considered in your life. I mean, that's one problem with like these apps on the internet, it's strictly, they're just talking about meditation, but
Right.
they're not getting the whole package,
Yeah.
which I think is important. And I think that's an issue that I'm not sure how to address, but
You like, that was one of my questions actually was, like it's so available and it's kind of trendy and everybody's
Yeah.
talking about mindfulness and meditation. And, some of it is, not Buddhist,
Yeah,
right? Or
yeah.
Buddhist focused, but you feel like it's important to have that peace. Like, why do you say that? Like,
yeah. Well, like they say, like a bank robber can be mindful, and that makes him a really good bank robber, but he's missing a part of the teaching.
right.
And so,
Okay. You feel like it all comes together.
I think you need the whole package.
Yeah.
And that's essentially, that's why we have.
Oh, that is wrong mindfulness.
That's right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like to think that's why we have PMC, because, we have a chance to practice loving kindness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, well, I guess that's enough said, but
yeah. It's interesting. When I first came into all this, I just fell into a Theravadan monk showing up on my computer screen. But so I kind of think this is just the way I found it, you know, I didn't really, I think maybe it kind of depends, I guess, on the person, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But we talk about how virtues are a big piece that can be missing sometimes, right? If you just talk about mindfulness, but then you kind of miss those other parts of the path, you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is actually, as he mentioned, sila is highly not enough emphasized,
Nearly enough.
especially in the West.
Mm-hmm.
They just talk about mindfulness, meditation, but they all forget the base, the foundation. I think without having that strong foundation, strong base, we can build up something strong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And George, I can remember once some monks approached Venerable Sariputta and asked, what is the importance, the purpose of observing morality? And then he answered, to maintain an undisturbed mind, to maintain an unscattered mind. So our mind is easily minds are easily scattered, because we don't have that strong base.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't leave out the virtue part.
Right.
No, it is the discipline.
The discipline.
Yeah.
Explain that more.
Yeah, that's the discipline. That's how you live by the spiritual journey.
The discipline.
Yeah. Very important. Yeah. What you do, what you say, what you think are a big piece of this practice.
It creates a virtuous mind.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And even I'm just thinking about in America, there's so much lacking, spiritually, and then even on the way over, we were talking about with Maggie, our producer, about how you believe in Sri Lanka, and we talk about births, previous births and future, and in America, it's not really talked or thought of that's such a Christian country, and that kind of affects your mind, and you know what I mean, how you think and how you live. And so do you feel that kind of hurts us a little bit, maybe? You
don't even have to think of rebirth as this lifetime, the previous lifetime, and the next lifetime. You can Ajahn Buddhadasa talked about each moment is a birth and a death, and so,
yes.
And so karma, each present moment is going to affect the next present moment. And so in each in each moment, you're born and then you pass away to the next moment.
Right. Like a self is born and
Right,
dies.
yeah. So you don't have to necessarily believe
I love that.
in three different lives. You know, you can just use the practice just as a here and now
Right.
practice.
Yeah, just practice now. And we were talking about that, like, don't worry, because a lot of people, when they hear about karma, they worry about like a future life.
Yeah.
And I was asking Bhante, like, but we're really not supposed to do that, right, Bhante? Like, I grew up Catholic, so I'm still like learning all of this.
Yeah.
But because I thought, like, this was what we discussed on the way. I said, if you practice generosity, shouldn't you have an intention to just be generous without an expectation behind it, kind of?
Yeah.
So what do you want to say about that, Bhante? You don't have to get too far into it, but
Yeah, practicing, it totally depends on the individual. So we can decide it. Sometimes people practice generosity expecting something in return. At the same time, there are some people who practice generosity without expecting anything in return. So we can decide it. It totally depends on the individual.
right.
So it is the free will, it is the freedom of their choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good time to talk. Can you talk about intentions a little bit? Like, intentions are really linked with karma, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you talk about right intention a little bit for people who don't really know?
Intentions mean all actions, verbal, physical actions generate origin from intentions.
Mm-hmm.
So if intentions is the karma.
Intentions is the karma.
Yeah, because karma means the reaction, even your mind is trained now, you have a habit of thinking.
Yeah.
You have a thinking pattern. It is what you have trained in the past.
Yes.
So you have trained that in the past. So now you go through that result. You have. Yeah.
Everything is a result
Yes.
of a past karma. And in the present moment, we are creating new karmas.
Yes. Yes.
So
while enjoying the karma, we perform more karma.
Right. But you say that Dhamma, what did you say? What's the phrase? Dhamma and karma.
No, karma supports to go around the samsara.
Keep the cycle of rebirth. Mental rebirth.
Yeah.
And also physical.
Yes.
Okay.
That is karma.
Yeah.
Dhamma helps you to break that circle.
Yes.
So they are two different things.
Okay.
So Buddha found out the answer to end the karma actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about karma, George? Like, what's your thought about that? Or do you not think about it too much?
I don't think about it too much.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just one of
It's
the basic.
good not to think
one of the
too
basic.
much.
One of the basic teachings is to cultivate the wholesome and try eliminate the unwholesome.
Right.
And purify the mind.
Yeah.
So I mean that just essentially defines what intention is. It's directing yourself in a wholesome manner.
Right. Yeah, I love that. That was a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Okay, I barely read any of these questions, but this is great. Okay, this is a good one. If someone has never meditated before and they're new, they're listening and they're like, I don't know anything about this meditation stuff, but I kind of want to check it out. What would you tell them? Like, hey, you're brand new.
Yeah.
This is my suggestion. Or
I guess the instruction, I would go back to breath meditation. I would, say, just get your body relaxed. Okay. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes lightly. And as you breathe in, be aware of breathing in. As you breathe out, be aware of breathing out. And then after 2 or 3 breaths, as your mind obviously will wander away, just realize that it's wandered. And you can either note it, you can do thinking, or just without judging yourself, come back to the breath again. Because the first thing you want to develop in meditation is concentration. You want to be able to stay with the state for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you have maybe developed the ability to stay with the breath for a while, then you can open up your experience to what's called choiceless awareness, where you're just present with whatever is occurring in the moment. Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads you into the insight of noticing the impermanence of all things, like thoughts arise and thoughts pass away. The breath arises and passes away. So it gives you that insight into the impermanent nature of things, which Theravada is. The three characteristics of being is an important part of Theravada Buddhism. That all conditioned things are impermanent. They're ultimately unsatisfying. Because they're impermanent and all ultimately unsatisfying, one shouldn't consider yourself a self. There's not that you don't exist, but that we think of as the self is more of a continuum of experience arising and passing away. So it helps to one of the things that I like to a mantra I like to have is like, nothing whatsoever should be clung to as me and mine.
Oh.
And so that sort of helps with the three characteristics of being.
Nothing whatsoever should be clung to as
me and mine.
And mine. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second noble truth, the cause of suffering. If you ever stop to think, why is there dukkha here? Why is there unsatisfactory in here? You can always find me and mine in there. And so that's
hello.
Right. Yeah.
Hello, self.
And so, again, the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, it's like the basics.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like I use that to guide my life.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking the other day about like having inner dialogue, but to like help you work through what comes. Mm-hmm. Like, even Bhante was saying that he uses that as a tool. Mm-hmm. Like he'll kind of have a little friendly, like a little something a word of wisdom, right? To call to mind to help. I love that. I just totally lost my train of thought. But I was going to ask Bhante to talk about something. Let me see. Oh. So Anapanasati, which is watching the breath, is emphasized for beginners, generally, right, Bhante?
Yeah. Anapanasati is not only for beginners, actually, even for seasoned practitioners can,
Can you explain why? Like, so it helps what?
The purpose of laying Anapanasati is to gain the ultimate happiness of Nibbana, to eliminate the three poisons again. So that is why Buddha expounded Anapanasati Sutta. Yeah.
Mindfulness on breathing.
Yeah. It's a very profound practice, actually. Right. Sometimes we just think it is just breathing in, breathing out, but it has
there's more to it.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's as George mentioned, if a beginner wants to practice, then just sit down and observe your in-breath and out-breath patiently, right?
It's always there.
Yeah, it's always there.
No equipment necessary.
Right, I know. Yeah. I've even thought of trying a different thing. I'm but my breath is always with me.
Right.
I can use it anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a good way to finish. What is one phrase or some insight or something profound that just resonates with you and keeps bringing you back? Either of you, if it comes to you.
A phrase?
Yeah, just some a profound message or something that just resonates with you and keeps you coming back to yourself. to the Dhamma? Where roots you?
It's not a self.
It's not a self.
It's a whole bunch of defilements. That's it.
That's it. Okay, what about you, Drew?
Yeah. Well, I think that little phrase I said,
Yeah.
nothing whatsoever should be clung to as me and mine,
Yeah.
is a good reminder.
Oh, so.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wonderful. All right. I love it. Well, thank you for talking with us today, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for spending this time with us on Mind Wide Open. If something in this episode resonated, carry it with you into your day, your conversations, and your moments of pause. To learn more about Bhante and the teachings of the Dhamma, visit mindfulpa.org. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and visit mindwideopen.org for more episodes and resources. Until next time, stay present, stay curious, and keep your mind wide open.